Then crap like a world where it's all dudes, all women, all zoo people, all intersex, etc. Or a world where women rule v, men rule v, intersex rule, etc. etc. So many contradictions make it simply impossible. Everyone's sexual fantasy comes true tonight. Forget technicalities. What does the world look like tomorrow? Sticky, incredibly sticky. This also serves dual purpose for all the people with the fantasy of cleaning up. Some people have illegal sexual fantasies, so cops might have to put in a few extra hours once they figure out how to uncuff themselves from the bedposts. I have a feeling most people in a uniformed profession will end up otherwise occupied. Duck the police, coming straight from the underground. Yeah, sex is cool and all. But have you ever been beaten within an inch of your life and called a dirty porch monkey by that hot girl from down south working the dungeon this week? Then run over by her car and called a filthy near, oh yeah, I'm a bad man. Wouldn't it cancel out? Like someone who wants to rape someone might find someone else who wants to be raped. Otherwise someone would not have their sexual fantasy fulfilled, e.g. someone who wants to rape someone rapes someone who does not want to be raped. I'd like to understand the qualifications first. Millions of copies of many celebrities. I can fit only so much cum in my mouth. You say that Scarlett, but Chris Evans is gonna be redoing the elevator scene, except it's gonna be horned up women in place of Hydra. Probably a lot of people filing for divorce, a lot of people taking Plan B, and a lot of people getting tested for STDs. Welcome to the world of herpes pandemic. Everywhere is Essex now. Based on what's on Pornhub, there will be a whole lot of awkward family discussions. What are you doing, step bro? I never really understood the step sibling stuff. I thought it was pretty self-explanatory. People get off on the taboo aspect alone, and don't actually connect it to their own family members. They're usually not attracted to their own siblings, and are usually also well aware that the people in the videos aren't even related. However, the concept is that it crosses a line one should just never ever cross, and that part is exciting for them. Honestly, probably way more people than expected coming out of cemeteries. Actually, a lot more people coming into cemeteries. Look, I can get down with some zombie chicks in makeup, but I don't think that makes necrophilia mainstream. I think most people have fantasies of just using a body how they wanted with no downsides, but that's normally just a BDSM wanting complete submissiveness kink in masquerade. If you've been around an actual dead body and know what they're like, actually ducking one that's had rigor mortis set in would only be done by the most depraved and mentally ill people because they're that bad. I don't care how many zombie chicks are in porn, most people will not want to actually have sex with a corpse, especially in a real scenario, not fantasy. I'd say maybe as many as other illegal sex crimes in this scenario, but I highly doubt it's actually growing due to porn with live warm people and not things like gore sites or the deep web. Have you ever been on DeviantArt? This reality is over. I once saw a drawing where NSFW, Prince Philip, cut off Ariel's head, somehow got it lodged in her uterus, and well, you can probably imagine what else happened. Her mouth was open and she was, again somehow, crying. On the plus side, it had advanced space tech a few decades, purely out of desire to get off the same planet as these people. Based on hentai, probably lots of mythical yet sexual creatures. Plus side, the adorable stuff will likely stay. Well, get cat girls, dog boys, just various forms of animal-human hybrids. That should be fun. The downside is that we'll also have the ones that take far more after the animal parts. At least some furries will be happy. So in conclusion, I see this as an absolute win. The universe would be destroyed because there are people who have sexual fantasies about growing their penis so big that they break space-time. I am not joking. There are people who write in graphic detail stories about their penises growing bigger than buildings, mountains, planets, stars, solar systems, galaxies, universes, and beyond. I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can duck the world for 72 hours. Scarlett Johansson would have a lot of STDs. Every even somewhat sexy celebrity would have a lot of sex and STDs in a very short period of time. Poor Danny DeVito. Gone. I mean, it's really likely that at least one person's fantasy is to have sex during the apocalypse. What if my fantasy is that there are no fantasies? Congratulations, you have made everyone vanilla. Actually, they've just stopped anyone from becoming kinky. If they're already kinky, it's no longer a fantasy, so they don't revert to being vanilla. But anyone who was like, hey, we should try mixing things up in bed this weekend, is now stuck vanilla forever. Furries, dragons, cat girls, snake ladies, giants, eldritch abominations, lizard people etc. are now all real, I guess. Considering the GTS folks are into obliterating planets, or galaxies even, with boobs, butts, and dick, I doubt there will be an Earth. Don't ask me how I know this, please. A brief visit to 4chan's D will show anyone the extreme depravity and creativity of the human mind. I don't want to live in a world with doorsers. We'd be seeing a lot of anime crap, it is so ducking weird, man. Anime contains nothing that didn't already exist in humanity for hundreds of years, if not more. Anime is not weird, humanity is weird. There were mythological gods that loved to shapeshift into various things to have sex, for example. The concept of a cat girl isn't even that wild. It's less wild than Bastet, which was basically a furry goddess, lol. Oh god. You do not know what hell you have wrought on this world. You have destroyed the very fabric of civilization. Sure, you have the vanilla crap. The stepfamily kink. You'll see some people tied up, getting flogged. Screams of pain mixed with pleasure ring through the air. Except no, because we have everyone's fantasies. Everyone. Every nook and cranny of human sexuality and kink is explored, and the results are catastrophic. Giant tentacle monsters roam the streets, looking for people to violate with their countless phallus-shaped arms. Anthropomorphic animals are everywhere, hungry for lustful activities. Half-human, half-monster hybrids take victims by force and subject them to endless intercourse. And this is just the beginning of the depravity. Giants roam the land, swallowing humans and animals alike with every hole you can possibly imagine, and some you can't. The very earth grows penises to fornicate forcefully with every living thing. Every horror you can imagine comes to life as Rule 34's entire database comes to life. Humanity is extinct. Some ducked to death. Others the victim of execution fetishists. Even more still suffer fates so indescribably horrible that even thinking about it makes your brain explode. On the plus side, we get catgirls. Armed resistance forms in the shadows of what is left. Many of the new factions summon fight amongst themselves, centaurs with dongs the size of lances joust with half-snake lamia and the winner fornicates with the remains. Humans are resourceful, and they strike quickly and retreat, often luring any horny pursuit into rival territory. Eventually an uneasy alliance is formed with the various duck giants. Humans provide them with a steady source of prey in exchange for not spelunking a lady cave or being used for sounding. Plus all the contradictory fetishes. Just clothing-wise, you've got people who want everyone in the world to wear leather, or latex, or nylons, or bondage gear, or swimwear, or torn clothing, or messed up clothing, or wet clothing, or no clothing. Then crap like a world where it's all dudes, all women, all zoo people, all intersex, etc. Or a world where women rule v, men rule v, intersex rule, etc. etc. So many contradictions make it simply impossible. A poem for your sprog. Oh sure, he explained with a shake of his head. The world is a flurry with fetish, he said. With too many heinous obsessions to pick. A mountain of anus and pussy and dick. And sure, he explained with a shrug of distress. The world is a hellscape of horrors, I guess. An image of dismal and dreadful delight. A picture of terror to taste in the night. And sure, he explained with a smile and a sigh. The world is a nightmare for you and for I. A vision of noxious, nefarious stuff. At least we have catgirls. For now, that's enough. For my master's degree I'm considering exploring why you choose to write poetry about top-scoring Ask Reddit questions. I'm also interested in the idea that you are not only bringing poetry to many people who may not appreciate it as a creative process, but you are also keeping the embers of creation alive on Reddit. Your popularity and consistent recognition in this subreddit deserves, in itself, academic attention. Okay, maybe not quite master's thesis, but I would actually like to know a bit more about you, as someone who writes poetry myself. I'd also like to thank you for keeping what I see as being quite traditional, understandable poetry alive.
Like and subscribe for more funny, interesting, and scary r/ask Reddit videos.